Hello everybody, and welcome to mindful and physical therapy based workouts. Today is reformer time. We'll combine with resistance bands. We'll work the whole body pretty intensely, but it's a shorter workout. We'll go through all the elements, we'll go through all the cues so you can work mindfully. Let's get started. I'll put one band, a stronger band, around my legs. And I'll have the other one handy for later for my arms. We'll start with the hands on the platform and the knees on your carriage. I have one light spring on, and I'll be inhaling on a cat stretch. And then exhale into a cow and child pose. And I'll be inhaling onto a cat, coming up here. And then exhale, cow plus child pose. And again, inhale, cat stretch. Exhale, cow and child pose. And one more time. Rounding all the way, cat and cow and child pose. Just warming up our body, finding our awareness in our bodies, and then come back. And find that all fours with your shoulders over your hands, your knees underneath your hips, the toes are tucked under. Inhale to then exhale and lift the knees. And we're tapping, and we're also expanding into the band for some glute work. The abs are pulling into the back nice and flat, holding on to the spine. Breathing through it. Keep your elbows micro bent and push the hands into the platform so you get the response in your shoulders, in your rotator cuff, lengthening through your neck, pushing through the crown of the head, and then all the way down to your tailbone. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pushing back and take a stretch here. And then back into all fours. And we'll make sure the elbows are facing outwards a little bit. We'll lift again and hover the knees, pushing into the band slightly, and then pump with your arms to work your chest, to work the shoulders. And we have our glutes on with the band. We have our transverse on across the bottom part of the abdomen, pelvic girdle, and really work and push the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then release it back. Deep breath here, lengthening through your shoulders, stretching away, pulling the shoulders away from the ears to create space for your neck. And then come back, all fours, and inhale. Exhale, lift your knees again, pulling the abs in. And now open into double clam. Working our medial glutes, external rotators. And try to feel the response from your transverse, holding on to the front. Close the ribs and push out of the shoulders, pulling the face away from the floor. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release, pushing away. And then come back again. One more time. In this position, we're gonna lift our knees, pulling the abs in, keeping stability, and push away. Keeping the knees wide to make use of the band and feel the length. Pushing through the crown of the head and out through your heels. You want to have some activity in your glutes. To not leave the hips alone. So your hip flexors should feel supported by your glutes. 10 more. Micro bending the elbows. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Pushing back here. And then come back and onto one elbow. We're going to keep the resistance light. And my feet are pushing against the shoulder pads here. Arm up. And then push away into that side plank. And then inhale here. And on your exhale, pulling under and open again. And pulling under and open again. And if this feels too much at this point, you do the same thing on your knees and shorten the leverage. Making sure your left shoulder is nicely taken care of here. Pulled back. Two more. And one more. Coming back here. Into a side bend. And then switch to the other side. Getting ready with our shoulders nicely placed so the ball is being pulled back in the socket. Top arm up, you want to reach and push into the platform to get the separation of the shoulder blades, and then push away, inhale, and then exhale, pull under and lift your pelvis up into a little pike. The abs are full on, they're pulling in. Your pelvic floor is engaged and pulling into your abdomen. Using your exhale to condense, to intensify the ab work. Last 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then release, separating your knees. And reach into a nice side bend. maybe leaning back ever so slightly so that you're not leaning forward and rolling in. You want to really open. Dropping both shoulders and then releasing. And we're gonna get onto our feet, hanging over our legs. I'm gonna just grab my band to be equipped, slowly coming up. And lifting up tall, I'll bring my left foot forward onto the platform and I'll slip into the band with my elbows. So the band is in front of the elbows and now lunging, using both bands to create some additional resistance and pushing the carriage away. Opening through the arms into a deltoid raise. Aligning the knees and the feet. So my kneecap in the front is facing forward. Using the breath to pull the abs in tighter, feel the center strong, supportive, engaged. Your spine is held. Close the ribs and lengthen through the top of the head. Reach it up. 4 more. 3. 2. And 1. And we'll have a quick switch to the other side. This time the arms are going to go up, elbows to shoulder height, and open like a book now, and close, and open. Making sure to close the ribs as the shoulders, the arms are opening. Feel the alignment, the stacking of pelvis, rib cage, head. And then pull back in the shoulder joints. Pull the ball back into the rear cuff. We'll have 3 more. And the last one. And release. Stepping back onto the carriage, holding onto the band. Inhale, exhale, rolling down. And then sit down onto the carriage. I'm going to just take away the springs. So I have no spring load here. And holding on to the band, I am, falling over the edge. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly rolling back over my sacrum. And then a little bit onto the lumbar spine. So I might just touch L5. And then come back and just pulling into the band ever so slightly. So now I can pull the carriage back as I come up, and I'm gonna push it a little bit as I'm going down. Very gentle, then push the right arm forward and pull through the left elbow. And keep going to that side. Working obliques. Exhaling, keeping the shoulders dropped. Now you want to push into the band with your knees just slightly. That's going to give you stability in the pelvis too, so that the rotation happens above the belly button and your pelvis can stay, and you'll get more effect in your core, in your obliques. And we'll switch to the other side. Leading with the elbow. And you want to draw in, pull back, flex the spine. Four more. 3, 2, keep your feet alive, and one more, and then come back, and then just bring the feet together, leaning over. And then coming back up here, inhale, and then exhale into a halfway, and we're doing a figure 8. Working those abs, working them in a functional way, which isn't just the sagittal, which isn't always just sticking to one plane, but really keeping the legs in one place and moving the upper body for any function, for any daily activity that you have. So we're trying to have a functional approach in the training too. And then the other way. Reverse the 8. Drop the shoulders and go deeper into the abs, pulling the band apart for some activity in the shoulders and the arms. And working all the aspects, all the fibers of your obliques and of your abs. Check on pelvic floor, check on deep abs. And last few. And release. And we'll just release over the legs and extend here. And then come back. I'll bring back 2 springs now. Pushing over the feet and stretching, leaning over the legs, stretching the back of the legs and the back. Releasing the neck, releasing the shoulders, and slowly rolling up. And we have some resistance into our glutes here by opening the carriage a little bit, but we also have the band, so there's quite something happening in our glutes. We'll hold on to the band, we'll put it to the forehead, and we're going to roll and round the spine and then extend. And rounding in, flex the spine And exhale, keeping the carriage in place with all that resistance. So you should feel a fair amount of glute work. Keep the knees wide, pushing into the band. And push through both legs. Try to work both legs the same. Imagine separating the legs and not only pushing with the legs standing on the carriage. Pull the band apart, engaging your shoulders, engaging the upper back. Last two. And last one. And then lean over, close the carriage, and slowly roll up with a slight bend in the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, rolling back down. And then facing the other way, I'm going to take off a spring. Going into the band with my forearms and then hooking into my pads for some stability. Now I'm going to lift my knees and push out and then pike up and come back. Now feel the band around the legs for some activity in the glutes. Just the awareness there. The spreading out into the band. And then I'm going to bend, and this is where the band comes in more. I'm going to go up and into plank. Bend and up and forward. And bend and up and plank. Belly is pulling in. And you want to lead with your sit bones here. Two more. Check on your feet. Keep them alive, your toes nice and wide. Check on the shoulders. And then bring it back. And out of the band. And into a nice child pose. Extending the feet, extending the arms. Deep stretch. And then slowly rolling up. Lifting up tall. And I'm going to take off the band to face you in a cross-legged. And we'll sit nice and tall on the sit bones. Left hand on the right knee, and we're rotating around the spine for a breath and a stretch. And then to the other side. And coming back, we're going to open the feet and we're going to rotate one way and the other way. to mobilize our hips. There's been some glute work going on today. So work in the hip, definitely abs. We've done upper body, we've done arms, upper back, back extensors, a lot of posture and alignment. And then back into the cross-legged. Deep inhale. And bring in all the good things. The palms together. Trace your midline, feeling centered, feeling accomplished. And I thank you so much for joining. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done yet. I hope to see you soon. And if you'd like to support my channel, there's a super thanks button to press. And I'll highly appreciate your contribution.